As the world watches the horror of Hamas' brutal attacks on defenseless Israelis and Israel's subsequent response, I would like to dive into the issue. I title Israel and Hamas Conflict, Tracing Historical Narratives and the Palestinian Question. Introduction. The Israel and Hamas conflict is a long-standing and multifaceted issue that has garnered worldwide attention for decades. To understand the roots of this contentious conflict, we must explore the biblical and historical perspectives that lay the foundation for the claims of ownership over the land of Israel, while also considering the presence of Arab settlers in the region. The Jewish perspective. The Jewish connection to the land of Israel is deeply rooted in religious tradition, history, and faith. At the heart of the Jewish narrative is the belief that God promised the land to the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The sacred texts of Judaism, primarily the Torah, recount this covenant, and the historical connection between the Jewish people and the land extends over 3 millennia. The history of Jewish presence in the land of Israel is marked by significant milestones, including the construction of the first temple by King Solomon in 957 BCE, followed by the Babylonian exile and the eventual construction of the Second Temple. Jerusalem specifically holds immense religious importance as the location of the Western Wall, a remnant of the Second Temple, which is a site of deep significance to Jews around the world. For Jews, the longing to return to their ancestral homeland is integral to their identity, and this yearning was the driving force behind the Zionist movement in the late 19th century. The Zionist movement sought to establish a Jewish homeland in the historical region of Israel, particularly in response to the persecution and violence experienced by Jews, culminating in the horrors of the Holocaust. The Arab perspective. The Arab perspective is equally profound in its historical and cultural connection to the land of Palestine. Arab presence in the region predates the advent of Islam and has a history that spans centuries. Arab communities in the area have included both Christian and Muslim populations, and their contributions have been instrumental in shaping the rich cultural heritage of the region. Jerusalem is of significant religious importance for Muslims, as it houses the Al-Aqsa Mosque, the third holiest site in Islam. Arabs consider themselves indigenous to the land, with claims of continuous habitation long before the Zionist movement gained momentum. The displacement of many Palestinians during the formation of Israel in 1948 remains an unresolved and emotional issue for many, highlighting the deep-seated connection of Arab settlers to the land. The British Mandate. The roots of the Israel and Hamas conflict can be traced back to the British Mandate in Palestine, which came into effect after World War I. The League of Nations entrusted Britain with administering Palestine, and it was during this time that the foundations for the contemporary conflict were laid. In the aftermath of World War I, the Balfour Declaration of 1917 expressed British support for the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine, while also promising to protect the rights of existing non-Jewish communities. This dual commitment set the stage for conflicting territorial claims and disputes over the land's ownership, contributing to the ongoing tension in the region. The creation of Israel. The formation of the State of Israel in 1948 represents a crucial turning point in the Israel and Hamas conflict. In 1947, the United Nations passed a resolution recommending the partition of Palestine into Jewish and Arab states, with international administration for Jerusalem. While the Jewish leadership accepted this plan, Arab nations and Palestinian Arabs rejected it. In May 1948, David Ben-Gurion declared the establishment of the State of Israel, leading to a military intervention by neighboring Arab states and the subsequent 1948 Arab-Israeli War. The war had far-reaching consequences, including the displacement of hundreds of thousands of Palestinians and the establishment of Israel as an independent nation. The untold story. The Israel and Hamas conflict is an intricate issue with deep historical, religious, and political dimensions. Both the Jewish and Arab narratives and connections to the land are profound, and their competing claims have made finding a resolution challenging. The Israeli perspective emphasizes the biblical and historical links of the Jewish people to the land of Israel, their millennia-old connection, and their yearning for a homeland. The Arab perspective highlights the indigenous presence of Arab communities in the region, with deep-rooted attachments to their homes and lands. However, it is crucial to recognize that history, while influential, cannot justify human suffering or resolve contemporary disputes. The Israel and Hamas conflict is a complex and ongoing issue, with both parties seeking a just and lasting solution. Acknowledging the historical narratives is essential, but focusing on peace, coexistence, and reconciliation is paramount. The role of international mediation. International efforts to mediate the conflict have been ongoing for decades, emphasizing the need for a two-state solution that recognizes the right of both Israelis and Palestinians to self-determination and a secure existence. These efforts underscore the importance of negotiation, dialogue, and compromise to achieve a peaceful resolution. In conclusion, the Israel and Hamas conflict is a deeply entrenched issue with a history and context that cannot be ignored. Both the Jewish and Arab communities have strong historical and religious connections to the land, and their narratives play a significant role in the ongoing conflict. Recognizing these perspectives is crucial in fostering mutual understanding and, hopefully, paving the way for a peaceful and just resolution that acknowledges the rights and dignity of all parties involved. Ultimately, it is through dialogue and compromise that a path to lasting peace can be found. The international community must continue to play a role in facilitating these negotiations, emphasizing the importance of coexistence and reconciliation as the ultimate goals in this complex and enduring conflict.